So hello guys, today we'll be discussing about trigonometry. So specifically in trigonometry, we will be discussing about trigonometry ratios, like what are the concepts that govern that, which has a direct application with respect to your ICSE board exam, with respect to that chapter called trigonometry identities, as well as height and distances. So we're going to just discuss the basics, like how does trigonometry function and how you can apply that in that chapter in order to do the questions that will appear in your exam paper. So let's get started. Okay, so trigonometry, it's not, this chapter is mostly feared by most of the students because they just cannot digest the fact that this can be done in the exam scenario. Just looking at this word trigonometry, they find it very difficult. So let's just break that barrier and just get into this. Let's make it easier for our students. So kindly subscribe to this channel because I'll be posting all related videos on all of the chapters that will be appearing in the ICSE exam. So kindly like this video and do subscribe it if you find it helpful. That will motivate me to make more such videos that will be helpful for the students. Okay, so let's get started without further ado. Alright, so trigonometry is usually applicable for a right angle triangle. Now what is a right angle triangle? I think all of you know that. A right angle triangle is right angled at this vertex, and we know that the largest angle corresponds to the largest side. So the side to the largest angle is always the largest side. So since here it is 90 degree and these two angles together form the 90 degree, so automatically this is the largest angle, and the side opposite to this largest angle is this, which is called the hypotenuse, which is the largest side in a right angle triangle. This is generally considered as the base, and the third side is considered as the perpendicular. We know that, this is elementary. Now coming on to trigonometry. Now there are 6 trigonometry ratios. One is sine, one is cos, one is tan. The trigonometry ratio opposite to sine is called cosec, opposite to cos is called sec, and the opposite to tan is called cot. So sine's opposite is cosec, cos's opposite is sec, and tan's opposite is cot. So this is sine theta. Alright. For our convenience, we're going to represent perpendicular as P, hypotenuse as H, and base as B. So sine theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse, cos theta is base by hypotenuse, and tan is perpendicular by base. You can recite this at a poem like some people have curly brown hair turns permanently black. You can learn it like this for your ease. So sine theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse, cos is base by hypotenuse, and tan theta is perpendicular by base. Now you should consider that sine is opposite of cosec. So P by H becomes H by P in this case. Similarly, sec is just the opposite of cos. So it becomes H by B, and cot becomes B by P. So you can remember that sine and cosec are inverse to each other, cos and sec are inverse, and tan and cot are inverse to each other. So this is what basically trigonometry governs on an elementary point of view. Now since we have discussed what all of this is, now let's move on to the next part of trigonometry, which is which is the relationship between these angles. But before getting into that, as I mentioned, that sine and cosec are inverse of each other. So we can say that sine theta is 1 by cosec theta. Also cosec theta is 1 by sine theta. You can get this easily, but this is just getting cross multiplied and interchanged here. Alright. Similarly, as I mentioned, that cos and sec are interchangeably used. So cos theta is equal to 1 by sec theta. Also, as I said, sec theta is equal to 1 by cos theta. Tan and cot will also be undergoing the same treatment. So tan theta is equal to 1 by cot theta, and cot theta is 1 by tan theta. So these are inverse ratios of each other, so they can be used interchangeably. Getting on to the next concept, which is tan theta can also be represented as sine theta by cos theta. Similarly, cot theta, since I mentioned that tan or cot are inverse of each other, so this sine, and we have established that tan theta is sine theta by cos theta. So cot theta is what? Just an opposite of this. So it becomes cos theta by sine theta. Now there is a long proof of this. I can prove this with a long mathematical proof, but it's going to consume a lot of time. So I'm not including it in this video. But you should remember this relation, that tan theta is sine theta by cos theta, and cot theta being inverse of tan theta is just the reciprocal of this. Alright. Now let's get into some square relations. I think this might be mentioned in your textbook also. First is that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. And yeah, one more thing. If this is a right angle triangle, this is your theta. Theta is this acute angle. Now theta can also be this. Then in this case, this is your hypotenuse. This is your base, this is your perpendicular. But if you are considering this as theta, then hypotenuse remains same, but this will become your base and this will become perpendicular. Just remember this. These are minute concepts that students forget and then they tend to make silly mistakes in the exam. So just don't make these mistakes. So sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. Now using the elementary concept of sine, cos and tan, you can prove these relations. So I am not doing that now. And 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. So these are squared relations between all the 6 trigonometry ratios. So we are done with the square relations. Now get on to the next concept, which is complementary angles. Now what do you mean by complementary angles? Complementary means 90. Just remember this. Complementary means 90 and supplementary means 180. So whenever it is mentioned that two angles are complementary, which means that their sum is 90 degree. Similarly, if two angles are supplementary, which means that their sum is 180 degree. Alright. So sine and cos are complementary to each other, which means that sine of 90 minus theta gives me cos theta. Also, cos of 90 minus theta gives me sin theta. So from an exam's point of view, you should remember that which two trigonometry ratios are complementary, which two forms a square relation, and which is inverse of each other. If you don't remember this, then the very basis of forming this formula is not justified. So you need to know what are the different relationships existing between different trigonometry ratios. Similarly, tan comma cot. So these are also complementary within themselves, which is tan of 90 minus theta is cot theta and cot of 90 minus theta is tan theta. These can also be used interchangeably as complementary angles. And the last but not the least, sec and cosec. These are also complementary within themselves. So sec 90 minus theta is cosec theta and cosec of 90 minus theta is sec theta. Just remember these formulas because without this you will not be able to solve any numericals. So these are elementary formulas. Alright. Yeah, so this was the entire concept on complementary and supplementary angles, which is very relevant with respect to your trigonometry ratios chapter, which is in your class 10 board exam ICSE, and this is also very helpful with respect to class 9's trigonometry ratio. Sorry, my bad. This is not trigonometry ratios. This is trigonometry identities. This is a chapter which brings about like two questions at least in your ICSE paper. So this is a very important chapter for class 10 people who are appearing for their ICSE. And trigonometry ratios is also a part of ICSE, but it is in class 9. So people who have just gone into class 9, they can refer to this video and can understand the concepts for trigonometry ratios. So alright, this was all about trigonometry ratio that we discussed. Let me solve one or two examples to show you how does this work so that you are clear with this chapter. Let's give an example. Consider that this is a right angle triangle called ABC, and I am saying that this is 4, this is 3, and I need to find all the trigonometry ratios. So I need to, and this is my theta, okay. So with respect to this theta only, I'll find all my trigonometry ratios. So I need to find sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, and cot theta. Let's see, how we'll solve this. Let's get into it. So I can see that from this angle, this is my base, so 3 is my base. Height, that is my perpendicular, is 4, so I need to find this hypotenuse using Pythagoras. So if you apply Pythagoras theorem, then hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. This is 3 square, this is 4 square. 9 plus 16, h square is 25. So if I put a square root, I'll get h as 5. So I know for a fact that this is 5. Now let's evaluate each of these trigonometry ratios. So let's find for sin theta. So what was the poem? Some people have. So sin is some, people by have. So p by h. What is p? P is 4 and hypotenuse is 5. So my sin theta is 4 by 5. Similarly, cos theta is curly brown hair. So curly brown hair, base is 3 and hypotenuse is 5. So my cos theta is 3 by 5. Now tan theta, as I mentioned previously, that it is sin theta by cos theta. So without using turns permanently black formula, you can directly find it from here also. Let's see how we'll do it. I'll show you both the ways. So sin theta was 4 by 5 from here and cos theta was 3 by 5. Let's solve this. 4 by 5 divided by 3 by 5. 4 by 5, this is divide, it will become multiply, this will become reversed. So this will become 3 by 5. So 4 3s are 12. So 12 by 25. This is your tan theta. But if you do it from this formula also, I think you will get it. No, I think I have committed a mistake. Oh yeah. This should be 5 by 3. My bad. This should be 5 by 3. So this will come, 5 and 5 will cancel. This will become 4 by 3. So tan theta is 4 by 3. And if you do it from base by perpendicular also, just a second, I think I have made a mistake somewhere. Sin theta is 4 by 5. Some people have, right? People have. So some people have. Yeah, 4 by 5. 4 by 5 divided by. Ideally it should be, I think I have committed some mistake. I don't know. Some people have, right? This is my perpendicular, this is my hypotenuse. So 4 by 5, curly brown hair turns permanently black. Yeah, it's fine, 4 by 3. I have written it reverse. Permanently black. So P is 4, 4 by 3. So using this formula or this formula, you can get the same answer as tan theta. Now as I said, you don't need to find cosec theta specifically, or you can also do that. It is h by p. So it will be reverse of what it is, 5 by 4. Sec theta will be 5 by 3, reverse of cos, and cot theta will be 3 by 4, which is reverse of tan. So using this method, you can find all the trigonometry ratios. So I'll show you one more example, which is where, and this question is very favorite question of the examiner. Means this question is asked multiple times in your selection and your pre-board exams, which is sin theta is equal to cos theta. Tell me the value of 1 plus sec square theta, or any ratio, but this is the relation which is generally given. Let's see how we'll tackle this. What I'll do is, I'll divide both sides by cos theta. And why am I doing this? Because I want to eliminate cos theta from the right hand side. So it will become something like this. Or you can do it like this also. That sin theta is equal to cos theta. So cos theta can be written as cos theta into 1. Take this cos theta downstairs. So it will become sin theta by cos theta equal to 1. And if you do this also, it will also give you the same thing. Sin theta by cos theta equal to 1. So in both cases, you are getting the same thing. And we have studied that sin theta by cos theta is 1. So tan theta is equal to 1. Tan theta equal to 1. Both cases. Alright. Acha, I forgot to explain you about the trigonometry table, which I'll do it after this example. So I need to find the value of 1 plus sec square theta. Okay, so what is tan theta? Tan theta is perpendicular by base, which is 1. So my perpendicular, you can take it as 1. Base also you can take it as 1. So hypotenuse will become 1 square plus 1 square, which is 2. So hypotenuse comes out to be root 2. And you're looking for 1 plus sec square theta. So what is sec? Sec is opposite of cos, and cos is curly brown hair. So this will become h square by b square. H is root 2 whole square, and this is 1 square. So this will become root 2 into root 2 is root 4, and root 4 square root is 2. It will become 1 plus 2 by 1, which is 1 plus 2, 3. So you'll get the answer as 3. Alright. So this was all about the two examples. Now let me just explain you the last part, which is the trigonometry standard angles. Now this is also very important chapter from class 9's point of view. Like they have a chapter called trigonometry standard angles. So in that there are some standard angles given like 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90, and you need to find all the sine, cos and tan for all these. So I'll show you how by only using one row you will be able to find rest other. Let's see how you will do that. Sec and cot. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so sine 0 is always 0. You just need to remember this row. After that everything will fall in place. Let's see how. Sine 0 is 0. Sine 30 is half. Sine 45 is 1 by root. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. And sine 90 is 1. Now you need to learn this from an exam's point of view. Post which I'll show you how you can do cos. So if this is in this way, you just need to write this in this way. So this will become 1. Root 3 by 2 will come here. 1 came here. 1 by root 2 will be as it is. Half will be written here, and this 0 will come here. Just write it in the reverse order. Now what I said, that sine by cos is tan. So tan of 0 will be sine 0 by cos 0. So it is 0 by 1 is 0. 1 by 2 by root 3 by 2 becomes out to be 1 by root 3. 1 by root 2 by 1 by root 2 cancels, it will become 1. Root 3 by 2 by half is root 3. And 1 by 0, remember 1 by 0 is infinity. So this is the undefined infinity. Similarly, sine 0 and cosec 0 are reciprocal. So if sine 0 is 0, what will be cosec 0? 1 by 0. And as I said, 1 by 0 is infinity, so this will be infinity. 1 by 2 will be reversed, 2. This will also be reversed, root 2. this will be reversed 2 by root 3, and 1's reciprocal is 1 only. Coming to sec, 1 by 1 is 1, this will become 2 by root 3, 1 by root 2 will become root 2, this will become 2, and this will become 1 by 0, which is again infinity. Coming to cot, 0 by 0 is undefined. You can't define 0 by 0. Oh sorry, my bad. It is 1 by 0, so it is also still undefined. This is root 3. This is 1. This is 1 by root 3. And 1 by infinity is 0. Because if you cross multiply this, so it becomes this. So 1 by infinity is 0. So this table is also important for people who are up in class 9. So for trigonometry standard angles, this is a very important table that you need to remember. What you need to remember is just the values of sine for all the standard angles, and all other standard ratios will find their own place accordingly. So this was an overview of the entire trigonometry concept which is prevalent in class 9 and class 10. So using these formulas and concepts, if these are clear, you will be able to attempt the questions in your exam paper. So I'll be posting more such concept videos on all other different chapters for class 10, which is relevant for the ICSE 2025. So kindly subscribe this channel. Do like this video if you found it very helpful, and if you have any doubts, you can post it in the comments. I'll answer them. And if you still have any particular doubts, you can always contact me. This is my contact number, 98302-76709. You can directly WhatsApp me with all your queries, and I'll get back to you shortly. You can also email me. This is my email ID. Alright. So I'm looking to provide all the guidance and insights that I've got regarding ICSE for the last 10 years, because I've been training students in mathematics. So kindly subscribe this channel, because a lot of relevant and useful content will be posted here. Thanks a lot guys. Bye.